So now what I'd like to do is invite Jessica, who is our garden coordinator, to take it from here because she's going to explain the connection between what we're doing in our community garden and creation care. And Jessica, when you want me to move to the next slide, if you just want to let me know and I can do that for you. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we can move to the next slide. Welcome to your garden. The gardens are a place of beauty and breath, an abundant sea of life and color. Diversity lives here. It is honored, celebrated. In this space, all are welcome. All are invited to come, take a seat, to listen, to connect to whatever might need connecting to. The heart, to breath, to thoughts, to nature, to another, to plants that we have witnessed sprout from a tiny seed and then flourish and mature majestic beauties. These plants provide nutritious produce that do more than just feed us. They are a gateway to connection. And these gardens all are welcome because of you from the Creator. There is no judgment. You have dignity, purpose, respect. Because of this ethos, we choose to grow in harmony with nature, always taking into consideration the intimate connections, those seen and often unseen, that shape the web of life. In these gardens, all is done in the spirit of reciprocity. You can move on to the next, Mother Barbara.
Mhm.
In honoring the importance of diversity as a necessity for a community to thrive, the garden beds are planted diversely, densely, and frequently, leaving little visible soil throughout the year. Flowers, herbs, vegetables, and fruit crops all live together in a single bed. Their unique plant heights and root lengths create small biomes above and below the soil, giving shelter for insects, bugs, and worms, and so forth to move through. Archways of trellis beams provide shelter from the sun, a fun place for us to coexist in, and tons of nectar-bearing bean flowers for hummingbirds to drink from. The thick plant canopy greatly reduces water evaporation and thus our need to water. Notably, it creates endless beauty, fresh bouquets of flowers, offers herbs to flavor food, or medicinal teas to aid our ailments. Importantly, it has us squealing in delight to see what might be growing next or be ready to harvest, or who might be out roaming and flying the gardens. There is no use of chemical fertilizers, herbicides, or pesticides. This would only tip the balance of the ecosystem and compromise the health of our community, people, insects, and soil. Because of this, the number of beneficial insects and wildlife that have come into the garden, some even call it home, is quite remarkable. They do the heavy lifting, they do the balancing act of population control. Do you mind going to the next, Mother Barbara?
Of course.
Thank you. Native bees and various pollinators, spiders, crickets, ladybugs, beetles, worms, praying mantis, the list really does go on, can be found doing their things that they do best. The community tells of their insect, bug, or wildlife sightings. Some are a bit more enthusiastic than others, but that is okay. Because you don't have to love them, you don't have to like them, but you do need to respect what they do. This is where education comes in. It's really hard to like something you do not understand. It's hard to see what you do not know exists. And thanks to the children of Cookie Church and Mother Barbara's conscious ways of bringing nature into her teachings, the children have seed bombed an entire native perennial bed, as well as a couple other surprise locations, so we all can witness the magic of seeds sprouting, growing, thriving, and then coming alive with visitors. Do you mind going to the next, Mother Barbara?
Sure.
Thank you. In the garden, we choose to allow some of each plant to go through its complete life cycle. It is a beautiful thing to witness and one that few people actually get to see. There's so much magic watching a plant go from a seed to sprouting to maturity to flowering and then finally sending out its seeds. The children have taken to collecting them, holding them with awe and wonder that this actually happened and actually does happen. Some seeds have definitely found their ways into the pockets of children and then have been taken by bike to their home. The emotion of awe never goes away. On a practical level, seed saving helps save money. Importantly, it aids in climate resiliency, for each seed holds specific information about the land, about the region, the weather, and the bug experience it has gone through. It holds it locked in its DNA, waiting to be expressed the next time life is asked to ignite. Additionally, it stores the stories of its ancestors' experience. This is very much all similar to us. This is how resiliency is made, when we can rely on past experiences to guide our actions. Seed saving has been a wonderful opportunity to share knowledge of a skill that is being lost. To save and share seeds with others is one that connects us to our own ancestors, to each other on a grand scale. It builds self-sufficiency. Can you please go to the next? Thank you. The garden soil is never turned over, no roots are removed, all is composted or given to the worms who live in the worm bin, and yes, in the garden beds themselves. Somehow the worms never fail to deliver joy when discovered, and often they lead us, big and small kids alike, into thrilling searches to find more of them. Yes, we squeal in delight each time we see a little head poke up or a shiny, slick, fat worm body emerge. Their presence is a testament to the health of the soil. The compost, when complete, is given back to the garden bed so the cycle of nutrient exchange, the cycle of life, can continue again. Nothing in the garden is wasted because nothing is seen as a waste. Community members of all ages know where the compost bin is now. They see that adding to it is a life-giving act, giving nourishment for the next. This practice extends into what kinds of packaging, plates, and utensils and cups we use. We source eco-friendly compostable materials, all of which help reduce our environmental impact. Could you please go to the next slide, Mother Barbara? Thank you. From the beginning, the gardens were never expected to produce all of the food for the community. This is impossible considering 1 in 7 community members struggle with hunger. This translates to 5% being food insecure, meaning that they lack access to enough food and because of money or other resources. We do not sit on enough land to produce the needed amount of food, nor do we have enough human power or energy to do so. Also brought to our attention was the fact that 74% of borough residents struggle to provide essentials for their family. With this realization, it became clear that Grace Place Gardens need to serve as a space of natural beauty and connection, as well as a resource hub who happens to produce healthy, nutrient-dense food as well. And we are very fortunate to live in Pennsylvania, where agriculture dominates the landscape, and people have found creative ways to make good use of agriculture access. So through the intentional connection to the Gleaning Project of South Central Pennsylvania, whose goal is to reduce food loss on local farms and increase food security in our communities, we're able to distribute at no cost at all over 100 boxes of fresh local food to the community weekly throughout the year. Eggs, bread, baked goods, and other essentials are also provided via invaluable partnerships. It is these kinds of collaborative efforts that we're able to build a more resilient community, a more resilient landscape. And then just the finishing slide is a little beautiful capture of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mother Barbara.
Thank you. I'm going to try, which I should have done before, doing a slideshow. So everything shows like, it's bigger. So that's really what we wanted. So I apologize. I didn't figure that out, although those things are always a little stressful. So thank you, Jessica. Now, I hope you notice the little ducks in the garden, because that was like one of the most amazing moments. We had Cookie Church, which is our church for our little ones, our outdoor church. And when they found ducks in the garden, like they just couldn't believe it. And so Jessica had brought them in, but it was a beautiful, wonderful thing to see them engage in so many ways. Of course, I thought the ducks would end up in the fountain, but they didn't. But anyway, it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. So thank you, Jessica. So